Hello, Dave. Dave. You're my wife now, Dave. Good morning, you. Hello, how's it going? You alright? You're joining me here then just as dawn's broke on this Sunday morning, the 29th of October 2017. We're at the lovely Wastwater. It's an absolutely beautiful day this morning. Last night wasn't the case. The wind was absolutely horrendous, so much so that I didn't get the best of nights of sleep at all. Stayed in the Sharabangle, which is parked just over there, but I didn't stop by the lake last night. I stopped a little bit further down the road at Wasdale Head. Now, I must admit, I've always been fascinated by Wastwater, me. It's one of them places for me, just like Buttermere, that it looks like over the years it's never changed at all, you know what I mean? And I just think it's absolutely belting. But one thing I've always wondered about every time I've been here, I've always thought to myself, this is the deepest lake in England at 250 feet deep. They reckon there's Ullswater may be deeper, but nobody's ever been down to actually record it, because apparently it's got loads of shelves and ledges and this, that and other, and it's so dangerous down there that they can't get down. That's what I got told anyhow, but anyhow, on record, this is the deepest lake in England at 250 feet deep. And also I think to myself, I think it's the sinister side of me just thinks, well, if this place has been here for thousands of years and never changed, it's the deepest lake in England at 250 feet deep. How many secrets has it held over the years? How many secrets does it hold? You know what I mean? And on that point, it's quite popular, this place, all through the year pretty much, with fell walkers and people doing them 3 peaks challenges and this, that and t'other. I think they start off at Ben Nevis, don't they, then come to this place here at Scafell Massive, which is up there, all through the night, and then they go down to Snowdon, don't they, at Wales. So when I've stopped, I mean, apart from last night, because it were right windy and the weather was atrocious, there were just myself and a couple of handful of people down at Wasdale Head there. But when I've stopped here before, it's like wacky races all through night. There's cars coming down, blah, 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 blah. Now, 41 years ago, back in 1976, a vehicle, having driven through the night, stopped by the lakeside, round about this area, in the early hours of the morning, in total pitch black darkness. Now, it would have looked a little something like this. Now, it's 6:30 in the morning here. Technically, it's 7:30 because the clocks have gone back an hour. It's still absolutely pitch black here. I would imagine it would have been a couple of hours prior to this where it was even darker. It'll be coming daylight soon in about another 45 minutes to an hour. You'll not pick this up on camera, but I can see in front of me there, I can see the screes. It took a while for my eyes to adjust. It won't be the same now as I've got this bit of a light on me. It's pitch black, absolute darkness. And then with the use of a small boat, either a canoe or a dinghy, made their way out onto the lake here and deposited a secret into the murky depths of this water, which they hoped would never be seen ever again. Unfortunately for them though, it didn't go to the bottom. It came to rest 110 feet down on a ledge, where it remained totally undiscovered for almost 8 years. Until in 1983, by complete accident, 2 amateur divers happened upon a piece of carpet weighted down with a big lump of concrete. At first they thought it was a bit of rubbish, but decided to investigate it anyway. Upon cutting open the straps or string, whatever it was bundled with, wrapped with, they discovered the wax-like figure of a woman's body, perfectly preserved because of the depth it was down there and the cold waters and whatnot. Now, I'm not a diver, I'm not. My only diving experience was at 6 foot deep, dressed in my pyjamas, along with most other kids at Oral Aldgate Junior School. I went to retrieve a rubber brick from the bottom of Wigan swimming baths. Got my certificate for it as well. But I've been on to a guy called Stephen Mitchell, who's dove in here, and I've asked his permission if I can use a bit of his footage. So just to give you an idea of roughly what the kind of depths would be, Stephen tells me that he went down to about 100 feet on this particular depth. So over to Stephen, let's have a look at his footage. Cheers for that, Stephen. You're a braver man than me, you and your mate there. I will post a link to the full video by Stephen Mitchell on here. It's a great little video. There's quite a few different videos like that on YouTube of Wastwater here, probably all using pretty much the same route. But the reason I chose Stephen's one was the only one I could find that I wouldn't get a potential copyright claim on with the music, because the rest of them have some great music on, some great rock music and whatnot, but there have been copyright claims everywhere. Let me just watch my foot in here, because I don't want to end up in there. Yeah, good on you, Stephen. Every credit to you, mate. Braver man than me. I'd much rather stick to me rubber brick, thank you, please, or as Peter Kay said in that advert, garlic bread, garlic bread. No thanks, I'll stick to my milk loaf. Was it an advert? No, it was his act on stage, wasn't it, years ago? Yeah. So these two divers, I mean, that was, according to Stephen, that was about 100 foot down. You can see the kind of depths it will go to. Add an extra 150 feet onto that, that would have been the bottom. She didn't go to the bottom though. So this, imagine that down there, like bloody these two divers just happened upon that. You'd be like blowing bloody bubbles and everything. Oh, it'd be awful that, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? Now, initially, when the body was brought up, whatever they did then, did they fetch it up, or did they get, you know, go up market and get the bobbies to come down for it? But initially they thought it was, they believed it to be a French woman who had gone out on a hike one day and not returned, and she'd been missing for a couple of months. However, under proper professional forensic medical examination, they found that it couldn't be the French woman. The age difference was completely different, plus the corpse still had a wedding ring on her finger with the initials of her and her husband engraved on the inside of it. Now, after putting out a press release back then and describing the body and whatnot, friends of the woman came forward and said this might be such and such a body. Well, later on it was discovered the identity of the woman to be a 35-year-old air hostess from Surrey called Margaret Hogg. Now, they went knocking on the husband's door. The husband happened to be an airline pilot. He was arrested, he was charged with the murder, and subsequently put on trial and was jailed. Now, I did write all the official details down of this yesterday back in the man cave, but in my haste to get out and about and grab my brew and make myself some butties, I've left my notepad on the kitchen table. So, out of respect for both sides of the family, who will no doubt there will still be members alive today, I'm not going to go into the details and try and ad-lib, but from what I read of it, all I will say is it seems that he got off very lightly. I don't think he was actually charged with murder, I think it was manslaughter, and he didn't serve all that long in prison. Like I say, I don't know the full details now because I've written them all down and left the buggers on in my kitchen in the man cave in Penrith in Cumbria, yeah? So it is one of them. Now, it don't bear thinking about that, does it? You know what I mean? The poor woman. What she'd done to deserve it, I've no idea, but according to form, she'd been strangled. Maybe they'd had an argument and this, that and the other. He'd strangled her and then wrapped her body up in a bit of carpet, drove through the night from Surrey, rode out into this lake here. We've walked down a bit now, rode out into this lake and launched her in. Unfortunately for him, like I say, she didn't go to the bottom, she came to rest 110 feet down. They reckon had he rode out another 10 feet, she'd have gone to the bottom and possibly it would never have been seen again, because we've seen from Stephen's footage there how dark it can get down there. And that was just at 100 feet. I'm watching my footing, I don't want to end up falling in there, I'm hot rocks here. We've seen from Stephen's footage how dark that can be. 150 feet further on down there would be dreadful. Now, divers, when they go down to that kind of depth, can't spend that long on there, so unless they found that something like that by accident, you know, they would never know it were there and it would have probably remained there forever. Now, that's one part of this lake here. As I say, this is about 3 miles long, this lake. It's very clear water. It's very clear water. I can't imagine there being any other bodies in there now, but over the years, I wonder how many bodies have actually been put in there. Do you know what I mean? Now, I know what you're thinking. What happened to the French woman? Well, according to form, she was a young French student, about 19 years old. I think her name was Veronique, but like I said, the details I've written down and left them in the man cave. Well, they found her body, apparently, a couple of months later, halfway down one of these screes here, on one of the crags. I don't know exactly which point it was, but it was halfway down one of these screes. Let's say, for instance, it was that one. It weren't far off from where the body was discovered, but it was up the scree. They found her halfway down there. Obviously as dead as a nit. Now, one thing I'd like to know is, how did she get down there? Did she fall and stumble? Did she jump? Or the sinister side of me says, was she pushed? Do you know what I mean? Which begs the question, as I've mentioned earlier on, what exact secrets does Wasdale hold? I've been Barry Tittler, Average Joe in Cumbria. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hey, join me again sometime. Bye bye.